Thank you. And joining us now to kind of break down here what we've heard so far is legal analyst John Tompkins. He is not affiliated with this trial here in Delphi. We just saw Eric show us the handwritten confession, and we do know the defense's contention that Richard Allen was under extreme mental stress and was suffering some mental health issues. So the question then, with that handwritten confession, is that something that can potentially make a big impact in court with the defense's contention that Richard Allen is going through mental issues here and he's confessed to other crimes that didn't even happen?
It could be a bombshell either way. It could really make it look like the state is trying to overreach, and it could be damaging to the defense. In another case that's recently in the news, the Central Park Five all confessed to murder and were later exonerated after spending years in prison. So confessions don't stand alone. They have to be looked at in context.
Can you talk about how the attorneys are handling these theories about, well, maybe this was a ritualistic killing? The court saw photos of how the girls' bodies were posed yesterday and the tree branches that were arranged, perhaps in some sort of a pattern on top of them. Now, the defense isn't allowed to directly reference this theory about Odinism, but today they did ask some investigators what those arrangements might mean. What do you make of that, and what is the jury going to make of that, more importantly?
Well, while Odinism is out, the fact that the bodies were posed, they didn't lie as they fell, so to speak, and the fact that things were placed over them is not out, as long as you don't try to overtly connect it to Odinism. So what is the person doing? What are they consumed with? Why? What is the reason? And how could that be either connected or disconnected for Mr. Allen?
And we do know Odinism can be brought up in the state of appeal if it gets to that point. Yeah. So if it does, will yesterday in court play a big role in that? Those pictures that were identified as being placed, the questions perhaps about why certain things were placed, does that then lend to the defense's hand should we get to the point where an appeal is necessary?
Yes, if you get to an appeal, pre-trial the judge had said everything they did on the hearing about Odinism is in the appellate record. So it's there and able to be discussed. And that means the Court of Appeals can compare what the jury would have heard with a different ruling versus what they actually did hear.
There was also a lot of back and forth about that unspent round that was recovered from the scene and connected to Richard Allen's gun. In your experience, though, how is that type of ballistic evidence accepted in most trials?
Well, tool mark evidence isn't that persuasive. It needs to be supported by other things. It basically says these might come from the same source, but it doesn't mean they did come from the same source. Many firearms leave very similar tool marks, so we'll have to wait and see how conclusive that witness is when he tries to testify about a match or a prospective match.
And then the revelation from the defense, or at least their contention, that wasn't cataloged as they didn't take a picture of it,
right,
and it wasn't cataloged as maybe extensively as they contended should have. Does that play in their favor as well?
It certainly does, because with modern photography, you can take high definition pictures of the actual tool marks, and all those officers know that tool marks are going to be compared. So being able to show, here's how it was in the field on the day we found it, and this tool mark matches that tool mark from the round that was compared, is very important and can be very important to jurors.
Okay. John Tompkins, we'll look forward to more of your insights throughout the trial. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. And day by day, as the trial continues, we, of course, will continue to bring the very latest coverage, both on air and online at fox59.com. We'll do this throughout all of our newscasts, as well as on our website, and continue to have more segments here with John Tompkins as he helps to break down what we're seeing in trial day by day. Once again, fox59.com. We're going to switch gears.